Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby.
The Kara arc is officially underway, and I am finally loving the Boruto anime series yet again. Guys, this is definitely going to be a pretty interesting arc right here, as not only do we get the official arc of Kara, but it looks like they're going to be making some major additions to this storyline, which is someone who actually reads the manga version pretty religiously. I appreciate these changes. They're not only going to be giving us a brand new member of Kara, but they're actually going to expand on another one who didn't get a lot of screen time in the manga version. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this episode. So, this is the beginning of the Kara arc officially, where we're finally going to see like the members appear and see what they've actually been doing behind the scenes. In fact, one of the very first scenes of the entire episode, we're introduced to a brand new member of the group, one who actually does not appear in the manga version, and he's hanging out in this mysterious valley, jumping down, and we get a small glimpse of his face with his creepy red lipstick, and he also has this Roman numeral on his face, which is the number 7. I can't tell you much more about this character as he's brand new, and that's pretty much the only thing he does in this episode, but there is another key member of the organization who makes an appearance in this episode, and I didn't expect them to give this character the development that I was going to see. So basically the entire story here is that Boruto and his team, Konoha included, as well as another brand new character who goes by the name of Mugino, are going to be traveling to the Land of Valleys, which is apparently some sort of other ninja village, maybe not like an official one, but still a pretty cool looking location, I have to honestly admit. And basically they're going to be going there to investigate a missing person. Essentially, there is this weird organization which exists in the Land of Valleys, this medical group, which has this one employee who suddenly has gone missing, and this woman hired Boruto's team to go and find him. When they actually arrive in this place for the very first time, we get a great glimpse of the Land of Valleys, which is this like really deep valley at the bottom of like this giant mountain cliff, and I love the way that the actual city itself is structured. Like I said, it's not like an official ninja village, but it definitely has like the look of one, which I think is really freaking awesome. And as they make their way there, they go to this company to try and get a little bit of information about this missing guy, which of course the company is being very coy about it. They're not going to give out this stuff because it's privileged information, and of course a lot of the stuff that they work on is highly secret. So they decide that they're actually going to go and investigate this missing person themselves, and they get a little bit of intel, and when they actually arrive at this location, they're suddenly attacked by all of these ninja, as well as their leader, who just so happens to be the president of this medical company, and this man goes by the name of Victor. Now, if you saw the last episode of the series, we saw the very first introduction of all of the main Kara members, and one of those members just so happened to look just like Victor, having not only an eye patch, but also a missing leg. Now, it's very obvious here, but Victor is a member of Kara, and he also seems to have a lot of pull in this country, as well as being able to own this massive company which creates all of this crazy technology, which of course is going to have big ties to Kara as well. So, Victor is a character who does exist in the manga, but like I said, he got very little screen time, or at least not a lot of it yet. So, I'm really glad to see that they have an arc which is going to introduce him just a little bit more. And he's an interesting character, as I believe they mentioned that he's a former shinobi, but no longer is. And within this world, he actually experienced the Great Ninja War along with everyone, which was the big final arc of the original Naruto Shippuden series. And like a lot of other people, for him, it was a devastating thing. For a lot of people who went through this, they lost a lot of lives, and there was damage, and it sort of like messed with their head a little bit, and sort of made them question the way that the actual ninja world works itself. You can see that he's very bitter about the things that happened, and the actual technology that he's using is actually being utilized to create brand new limbs for people. And what I love about this is that there's this sort of like class battle between him and Boruto, where Boruto mentions, hey, that's really similar to my father, who also has like a chakra-based prosthetic arm. Although for Victor, this is something that kind of bites him the wrong way, because he realizes that while that is a good answer to people who need new prosthetics, it's not exactly practical. It's going to be incredibly expensive and really only made for the most privileged of people. For him, he wants it to make it so that everyone can actually have the ability to sort of use these prosthetic forms. And it's very obvious by the end of the episode that they've been sort of experimenting on all of these people, and it unfortunately looks like the person that they're actually looking for has been experimented on, and it looks like his body has been sort of enhanced by this weird sort of like cellular biological experimentation that they've been doing on their body to grow their limbs. They run into this guy who's just going crazy and stretching his arms arms all over the place. Not to mention they find this underground secret lab, which is just completely entrenched with all of these massive roots. And when you see that, your first thought is, that kind of reminds me of the techniques of the very first Hokage. And I have a feeling that's actually where this is all going to be headed, as I believe that the limbs and the technology that they're actually creating actually stem from Hashirama himself. And that makes sense because even the preview for the next episode of the series is called Hashirama's Cells. So I believe that Victor and this company are trying to use Hashirama's cells to create this sort of brand new biological technology to replace limbs in the series, although they're not exactly able to control it at all. There's something else going on here in the story, and I just can't wait to see where ultimately it's all going to be headed with this brand new Kara member involved. Really, there's just a lot of intrigue in this episode, and not to mention there's like a brand new character who straight up introduced, Mugino, who I'm going to talk about in just a minute. What's the rundown on this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? What I really love about what they're doing with the Kara arc in the anime is how they're giving us brand new material that's kind of hard to read. I'm not really sure where this arc is ultimately going to be headed now that we have two big members of Kara who are actually going to be involved. Whether that guy we saw at the beginning is going to be directly involved in this or they're just sort of teasing him remains to be seen, but I have a feeling he's probably going to be important to everything that's actually going to be going on here. But I love that we finally returned to like a brand new land, something we haven't seen before, which is grandiose and really cool looking. I don't know what it is, but I just really love the design of like the hidden valley and everything. I just think it looks really damned awesome, I have to admit. And then there's the character of Mugino, who appears at the very beginning of the episode and is like the brand new traveling companion of Boruto and his team. And he's just a really hardened ninja. Like he comes across as very stoic and kind of cold, and he's a guy that's worked with Konoha a number of times. Konoha speaks very highly of him and his abilities, the fact that he saved him a number of times, but Mugino does not really seem all that happy to work with all of these young kids. He doesn't seem to trust them or their abilities, thinking that maybe they're going to end up getting all of them in trouble, and the fact that he's been on so many serious missions, he's basically just, got to stick up his ass, so to speak. But I have a feeling that Boruto is eventually going to change his mind. But again, there's a whole scene in this episode where they talk about trusting one another and working with new people, and even Mugino himself says that he himself really just cannot be fully trusted, even though they just met each other and everything. I'm not sure what this is trying to say. Like, I'm not sure if I can trust this guy fully. They make him seem a little strange with the fact that he's so standoffish, and I don't know if he's actually going to betray the team or if he actually is going to be helping them out. It's really hard to say what they can do with a brand new character that we've never seen before, as on the flip of a dime they can end up transforming them into possibly like another member of Kara or someone who's working directly with them. Otherwise, I'm interested to see what this character is going to be all about and what he's truly capable of, what his signature style of fighting is going to be like. He has a pretty interesting design too, wearing these like goggle-like glasses and this giant red scarf around his neck. So he has a distinctive look, especially when compared to some of the other side characters from Konoha Village. So I have high hopes for the character of Mugino, but really it's just the introduction of those Kara members that's got me so excited for this. As a manga reader, I can't tell you how exciting it is to have a brand new villainous organization introduced, which has, really like big aspirations for the future. Trust me when I say that these guys are at Akatsuki level, and there's something that you shouldn't consider as like a minor threat. These guys are a big deal, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with them with this anime original content. Otherwise, I really loved this episode. It's got me completely on board. Production value-wise, it was a pretty solid-looking episode, too. Very clean, really good character design. I love the locales, and I love the look of Victor in sort of like his casual attire when he's not a member of Kara, and I want another look at that other brand new Kara member. I want to know what his deal is going to be. I'm just very excited for that. So I really dug this episode. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I'd love to get your thoughts on it, and you can sound off in the comments section below telling me what you hope to see from the future of the brand new Kara arc, the introduction of some new characters like Mugino, the Kara members, Victor. What do you hope to see from this current arc of the series? Are you in agreement with me about my theory about the fact that they're going to be using Hashirama cells here? Do you have any theories as to what they're truly doing here? Let's just talk about all that stuff and the future of the franchise in the comments section below. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I would also like to thank all of my patrons who've been checking out my Patreon page. You guys have been making some awesome donations to the channel, giving me great feedback. And of course, if you make a donation to my Patreon, I'm going to review an anime series of your choice. I got a couple of those coming up, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I would also love to add your name to this list of amazing people who are continuing to support this channel. You guys are freaking awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.